Welcome to our video session titled Selecting the Right Academic Program in School, Research Tools and Data to Consider. I'm your meeting presenter, Jeffrey Carpenter. I'm Vice President and co-founder of Vantage Point Consulting, a higher education consulting firm that works with colleges and universities to help improve their student retention, student services, and processes. Investment in post-secondary education is one of the most significant investments in time and money many of us will make in our lifetime. But how do we choose among all the options? We interviewed several prospective students who stated their most popular form of search is Google search. Prospective students may search on particular programs to see which schools come back in the search terms. Some search for schools near a specific location. But do these schools offer the degree program you need for your goal? Some search for degrees that lead to growth, jobs, or search for terms such as cheapest program or programs of the future. But with all these search methods and search terms that are used by students, there is one inherent problem. Students are not getting a holistic view of all the options available when they search on these types of search terms. Google is only presenting schools that match keywords, and they're using their own algorithm to decide which schools they're going to bring up in the search results. Some of the various third-party tools out there like U.S. News and World Report and other third-party sites that claim to rank schools may also only be giving you one partial look at the programs that are available and how they score those programs, and may not really be tailored to what your real needs are when you're looking for a school or a program. Another way that students will search is to simply go to a school's website. Maybe schools that they've heard of, they'll go to their website and they'll just start exploring. In this example, we see a school that's typical of how most school websites are organized. You'll notice that one of the links that they have is academic programs. That's very common when you're looking at colleges and universities. They list their academic programs. The problem is if you're trying to decide which degree you want to pursue, just looking on academic programs may not mean much to a prospective student. How do you know which careers that academic program really prepares you for? Many schools don't really tell you that information, or tell you information about whether the cost of that program is likely to result in a job that will pay a salary that allow you to repay the debt you incur. So is there a better way to inform your decision making when selecting a school or a degree? We talked to Army education counselors and soldiers with our client, the U.S. Army, and asked the same question. How are they deciding on schools? And what we heard is a similar pattern. Students are often going to schools where a colleague is going, or they're attending a school based on recruiting that's been done at their ed center. And as a result, students are overly influenced by marketing and by peer advice as opposed to true research on which degree programs and schools are going to get them a job in the area they wish to work. So, understanding these issues, we set about to try to understand if there's a better way, a better methodology that we could advise students on using who are trying to choose a school and a degree. And one of the best methodologies that we've identified through our research is to really start with your career goal first. So you'll notice in our methodology, we recommend that prospective students, really spend some time researching careers and what career goal they have, and then choosing a degree that prepares them for that career, and then, and only then, going in and looking for schools that offer that degree, as opposed to starting with a search on degrees or searching for a school and looking to see what degrees they have to offer and then just choosing one that's of interest to you and worrying about the career that might prepare you for later. So a little more information on what we mean by this methodology. When we say first look for your career goals, what we mean is, if you don't have a very clear idea of exactly what you want to do with your degree, you might start by doing some careful research on career options. What interests you? What are the growing career fields? How much does that career field pay? Are there jobs in the state in which you live in that career field? what education and experience requirements are there for that career, and what gaps do you have in your current education and experience versus what's required. This type of analysis and doing this first in your research before researching schools will really help you have clarity in what it is you want to do and make sure that you're taking the right degree and attending the right school. After you have made a decision about your career goal, then it's easier to find a best fit degree that will prepare you for that career. You can do some exploration on, for that career, what are employers who are hiring in that career field, what do they expect in terms of a degree? What schools do they typically hire from? What degree programs do they typically hire from? Big employers in a career field will often have a few schools that they typically identify as feeder schools for that particular company or that particular career. So for instance, in a high-tech field, schools may be recruiting, certain employers that you want to work for in that career may be recruiting from Virginia Tech or from MIT or specific schools that offer degrees in that career field. So that's your next choice, is try and pick a degree program that employers are hiring from. And then after you've picked a degree program, your last step in your research methodology should then be to try and find the schools that offer that degree plan. And here, the things that we recommend people look for when comparison shopping schools is not just the name they've heard of, but first deciding, do they want to learn online or in a classroom setting? That will down select some of the schools that you might attend. If you want to learn in a classroom setting, you're not willing to move, that obviously limits the schools to those that are in a certain region where you live. If you're willing to move, or if you're willing to learn online, that opens up some of the school options. Then you can look at things, you can start comparing those schools that are that offer the degree program you wish to select in the modality you wish to choose. You can down select then among those and look at things like, what is their tuition cost, what is their job placement rates, particularly at certain employers that you may want to work with, what's their loan default rate, what is their student retention and graduation rates. These are all publicly available data that you can look at for each school that you are considering to help down select the one that offers the best value. And then finally, can you get admitted to that school? What are their admissions requirements? So this is kind of a methodology we recommend people follow. Choose a career goal, choose a degree, and then choose a school. And doing this in this order can help you be more successful and strategic in your research. Now at Vantage Point, we actually helped the U.S. Army create a tool that helps soldiers and service members do this research. Helps them identify a career goal, it recommends degrees aligned with that career goal, and then it recommends schools that offer that degree. And we've started reaching out to schools to actually pilot this same type of program for schools, for students that are coming to their website who can do some career exploration first and then see which degrees offered at that school would best align with their career goals. So that's something that we are interested in working with more schools on developing, because we feel that's something missing on many school websites. However, if you're a prospective student and you don't have access to these tools, there are some publicly available resources that can help you with this exploration using this methodology we're recommending. So to research career goals, we recommend you try going to the ONET online site, which is a publicly available website. It's developed by the Department of Labor, and it uses data from Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it also uses data from states as well. And it's all around helping you research careers. It's organized so that you can first research using keyword searches to try and identify specific careers if you have something in mind, and find out more information about those careers, such as the education required, what you do in that career, how much it pays, whether it's a growing career. So it helps you just do research on specific things you think that you might be interested in. There are other ways that you can do searches on ONET. You can look at things not only by keyword in terms of a career title, but you can look at career cluster. You can look at things that are just bright outlook careers. What are things that are growing in terms of rapid growth in the future over the next 10 years in a specific state or a specific region to help you identify what those careers might be. You can also look at things by the skills that you might need or the education that you might need for that career. These are all different ways that you can help do some research to identify a specific career goal. If you have no idea what you want to do, ONET also provides an option for you. There is a component of the ONET site called My Next Move, and it helps you identify what it is you might like to do, even if you have no idea. One tool they have is an interest survey that you can take free of charge. It asks you some various questions about yourself, and based on your responses, as well as how much education you're willing to acquire for a career, they will then recommend a set of careers that are aligned with your interests and the education level that you have or are willing to obtain. So that's a real nice way to do some exploration to find out about certain careers. When you do this, you can then take a deeper look at the careers that are recommended for you. You can look at what knowledge and skills you would need, what kind of personality traits and technology skills you might need, as well as what the job outlook is for that career, whether it's a growing career, how much money, how much salary that career typically pays, and what the education requirements are for that career. So employers that are hiring in that career field, what do they typically require people to have? A bachelor's degree, associate's degree, etc. And you can look at this also by state as well, in terms of the salary and the job growth potential in a certain state or region. So this tool is a wonderful tool for helping you get more clarity around your career goal, or even if you think you know what career you might like, to get a little more information about that career and how much money it pays, so that when you go to acquire a degree, you're getting the right degree and you're not spending too much money on that degree. If that career that you're interested in only pays $40,000 a year in salary, you might want to go to a public school where your debt load is going to be lower than, say, a private school where your debt load may be 3 times higher than that, and it might be difficult to repay that debt. After you have identified the degree, the career that you want, ONET even will help identify what are the types of degrees that you would typically need for that career. So that helps you get more clarity on what degree program you should be pursuing. Once you have that information, another useful website is called College Scorecard. College Scorecard is created by the U.S. Department of Education, and it uses unbiased data from the U.S. Department of Education about colleges and universities throughout the United States. Nice thing about this is that you can research, you can search on things like show me schools in a specific state that offer a specific degree once you've identified your degree goal. And then basically it will return the search results of all the schools that meet your criteria. This allows you then to compare quickly with a nice graphical display those various schools that offer the degree program in the area you wish to live and the modality you want to learn in. And it gives you some key data that you can compare those degrees on, those schools on. So you can compare tuition, you can compare graduation rate, the average salary that people earn from that school when they're graduating, and then you can drill in deeper on any one of those schools to see even more details. You can see more detail about the costs of attending that school, the graduation rates, the average debt load that people have, what the loan default rate is. So this is all data that oftentimes is obscured on a school's website, but it's really the data that we recommend you look at and pay attention to when trying to decide which school you should attend. And the other thing that this site will then do is allow you to see what the admissions requirements are, what type of financial aid they offer, and then you can ultimately link to that school's website if you want more information. So again, The methodology we're recommending for you is that you start with your career goal first, identify the degrees that will prepare you for that career goal, and then after you've done that, identify the schools that offer that degree and compare schools by things like tuition, graduation rate, and other outcomes, as opposed to getting too emotionally involved in the decision about who has the better football team or who has the fancier looking website or the glossier, the glossier brochures, because these outcomes are the ones that really matter. We wish you success as you pursue your next career and education goal, and we hope that this information has provided you another approach to how you research your next degree and your next school. Thank you.